Have you ever noticed something strange? The loudest person in the room isn't always the one who succeeds. Sometimes, the person who barely speaks quietly walks away with the biggest win. Why? Because while everyone else is trying to be noticed, quiet people are often playing a completely different game. And once you understand that game, you'll never look at silence the same way again. We grow up believing that confidence sounds loud. Speak more, network more, promote yourself. Be the center of attention. But look closely at the people who consistently build great businesses, master difficult skills, or quietly transform their lives. Many of them don't fit that image at all. They're not trying to dominate every conversation. They're not posting every achievement. They're not desperate for approval. Instead, they're doing something most people completely overlook. And that's exactly why they keep winning. Think about two students preparing for the same exam. One constantly tells everyone how hard they're studying. They discuss strategies, argue online, and spend hours talking about success. The other says almost nothing. No announcements. No bragging. Just quiet, focused work. Months later, guess who surprises everyone? The second student? Not because they were smarter, because they protected something incredibly valuable. Their attention. Attention is like money. Every conversation, every argument, every attempt to impress someone spends a little of it. Quiet people spend less. That leaves them with more energy for the things that actually matter. Most people confuse movement with progress. They mistake talking about success for creating success. Psychologists even have a name for this. When you publicly announce your goals, your brain can receive a small feeling of accomplishment before you've actually done the work. It's almost like tricking yourself into believing you've already made progress. Quiet people accidentally avoid this trap. Instead of collecting compliments, they collect results. But that's only the beginning. Here's something even more powerful. Silence changes the way people see you. Imagine you're sitting in a meeting. Everyone is talking. Ideas fly everywhere. People interrupt each other. Then there's one person who hasn't said a single word. Finally, they speak. What happens? The entire room listens. Why? Because scarcity creates value. When something is rare, people pay attention. The same principle works with words. If you talk all the time, your words become background noise. If you speak only when you have something meaningful to say, every sentence carries weight. That's not manipulation. That's human psychology. The less you chase attention, the more attention naturally comes to you. But there's another secret that almost nobody notices. Quiet people spend more time observing, while others are busy preparing their next sentence. They're watching. They're noticing facial expressions, tone of voice, tiny reactions, patterns. Most communication isn't verbal. It's hidden in body language. A slight pause, a forced smile, eyes that look away. Someone who listens carefully gathers information that everyone else misses. Imagine playing chess. Would you rather spend the entire game talking or quietly studying your opponent's moves? Life works the same way. The best decisions often come from the people who observe the longest. That's why quiet people are often underestimated. And strangely, being underestimated is one of the biggest advantages you can have. Think about every great comeback story. The unexpected champion, the unknown entrepreneur, the student nobody believed in. They all shared one thing. People didn't see them coming. When others underestimate you, they stop paying attention. They become comfortable. They lower their guard. Meanwhile, you're improving, learning, building, growing, without pressure, without expectations, without constant judgment. It's like planting a tree. The roots grow silently underground long before anyone notices the branches. Success works exactly the same way. The strongest foundations are usually invisible. But here's where many people get confused. Being quiet isn't the same as being shy. It isn't fear. It isn't weakness. Real quietness is a choice. It's emotional control. Imagine someone insults you. Most people react instantly. They defend themselves, raise their voice, start an argument. A quiet person pauses, not because they have nothing to say, because they understand something incredibly powerful. Not every battle deserves your energy. That pause creates space, and inside that space, better decisions happen. Studies have repeatedly shown that people who delay emotional reactions often make better long-term choices. Silence becomes a filter. Instead of reacting, they respond. There's a huge difference. One is controlled by emotion. The other controls emotion. Now here's something even more fascinating. Have you ever noticed how mysterious people seem more interesting when someone shares every thought, every opinion, every detail of their life? There's nothing left to discover. Curiosity disappears. But when someone keeps parts of themselves private, people naturally become curious. They want to know more. The human brain hates missing information. It's called the curiosity gap. We instinctively try to fill in the blanks. Quiet people unintentionally create that gap, not by pretending to be mysterious, but by understanding that not everything needs to be shared. Today's world encourages the opposite. Post everything. Tell everyone. React instantly. Comment immediately. But constant exposure has a hidden cost. The more you reveal, the more power you give away, the more opinions begin shaping your decisions. Quiet people protect something most people don't even realize they're losing. Their independence. When your identity depends on applause, silence feels terrifying. But when your identity comes from within, silence becomes peaceful. And that's where true confidence begins. Here's a simple experiment. The next time you're in a conversation, try speaking a little less. Ask one extra question. Listen a little longer. Notice how much information suddenly appears. People love talking about themselves, and when they feel heard, they trust you more. Ironically, saying less often helps you connect more deeply, because listening is a rare gift. In a noisy world, attention has become one of the highest forms of respect. Now think about history. Many inventions, great books, scientific discoveries, and creative breakthroughs didn't happen in crowded rooms full of noise. They happened in moments of solitude. Silence isn't empty. It's where thinking becomes deeper. It's where ideas connect. It's where creativity breathes. Your brain needs quiet to process experiences. Without silence, everything becomes reaction. Nothing becomes reflection. And reflection is where wisdom grows. But let's be honest, being quiet isn't always easy. People may misunderstand you. They may think you're less capable, less confident, less intelligent. Yet those judgments often become your greatest advantage. Because while they're busy making assumptions, you're busy making progress. Eventually, results speak a language nobody can ignore. The promotion, the business, the skill, the discipline, the peace of mind. None of these need a loud announcement. They introduce themselves. So if you've ever felt overlooked because you're not the loudest person, don't mistake silence for weakness. Silence can be focus. It can be discipline. It can be emotional strength. It can be quiet confidence. The world celebrates noise because noise is easy to notice. But life rewards value. And value is often built where nobody is looking. The next time you feel pressure to prove yourself, remember this. The ocean doesn't make noise because it's shallow. It makes noise because waves crash on the surface. The deepest parts remain completely silent. And maybe the people who truly win in life aren't the ones making the most noise. Maybe they're the ones becoming so valuable that eventually they never have to speak loudly to be heard.